You might have heard from someone that they watched a video or read a book that totally changed their life. It is very unrealistic for people like us, but it's not about that specific thing. It's about the process of thinking, taking action, rethinking, and then making a decision. That's exactly what I went through, and I made a decision one evening that completely turned my life around. After dropping out of college, I felt lost. My life was a never ending loop of trial and error. I would wake up late, skip classes, listen to music, and mindlessly scroll through social media. I was a consumer, and I knew even I felt some regret after done with all of those bullshit. But my main focus was on success. I wasn't considering my inputs. I was just focused on the results, which is why I failed at two businesses I started. But here's the thing, those actions didn't lead me anywhere good. I was just stuck in a loop, and it wasn't until that night that I realized the biggest prison I was living in was in my own mind. That night, I made a decision. I wasn't going to sleep until I figured out how to break from this cycle. And guess what? Something changed. Here's the catch. I wanted some motivation and then I would act. But from that night on, I started focusing on taking small steps that lead me towards the motivation to work more. To be honest, nothing magical happened overnight. I was just starting taking small steps day by day. I resisted the urge to scroll through social media, listening to music, and reminded myself that I was becoming a man and had to make sacrifices. It wasn't easy though. There were times when I felt like giving up, but I pushed through. Obviously, I failed, but I retried and faced my fears and took those risks. And slowly, I started to see progress. I was becoming the man I was meant to be. But all of a sudden, I broke the consistency and again went to the comfort zone. I thought everything is gone. I fucked up over some distraction and I lost it. Then I sat on the desk. I watched a video from Luke and then I watched another one. Both videos totally changed my perspective on life. Let me explain you via example. Imagine you're watching a video and the creator says there are 10 steps to change your life. Most of us skip to step 2 or 3, thinking we can skip ahead for a shortcut. But here's the thing, the smart ones don't do that. They start with step 1, give it their all, and see if it works. If it doesn't, they move on to step 2. That's where the real change begins. To be honest, we consume much information from online and don't apply in real life and say, nah, it's not meant for me. Let me skip to another video. And that's what I did when I said. Then I watched another one. Both videos totally changed my perspective on life. Those people who say step 1 is basic. I tried it and it didn't work. They probably didn't give it 100%. Obviously, we crave novelty and fresh motivation. Alright, listen up. This is a tough pill to swallow, but someone put in the work to share this step with you. You have got the leverage and a chance to make the most of their effort. Why not give it a shot? Push yourself and then move on to the next step. You keep thinking and planning, but the real winners take action. They don't wait for motivation to come to them. They make it happen. And this is what I learned from video number 2. Remember, if you want something different, you have to do something different. Otherwise, you'll just end up with what you already have. We have given you a chance to try something new and free, so take and try it. Now, let me tell you a time when I hit rock bottom. I was exhausted and ready to give up. This was basically when I said, sudden, I broke the consistency and again went to the comfort zone. But then I got a call from a closest friend. He was like, Shezan, I have been trying to push you for 7 months, but this is it. I'm not helping you anymore. Either you stand up for yourself or stay in this pit alone. That hit me really hard, or maybe it made me stronger. Either way, I never looked back. I had to make some tough decisions to cut out the energy vampires and fake friends. I deleted every social media app, and made it more tough by not recharging my SIM so I wouldn't have to talk to those losers. I even logged out of WhatsApp because of some past energy and had conversations with my boys offline. I built a new circle of few people who were just like me, hungry, focused, and real. I left behind the things that made me feel small. But I forgot to mention that I also started content creation and an SMMA agency. And to be honest, I don't feel ashamed to say that I failed. Because if I hadn't failed, I wouldn't have learned and shared my experience on this video. That's the reason I said my main focus was on success. I wasn't considering my inputs. I was just focused on the results, which is why I failed at two businesses I started. Then again, all of a sudden, I started focusing on my inputs and myself with a clear purpose. I don't do it to impress someone or just for the sake of doing it. I do it because I owe it to my future self. You're just one step away from making a big change in your life. Don't wait for motivation or someone to save you because both these things won't arrive unless and until you make those actions today and watch your life transform.